Gentlemen, the time has come once again to discuss things. Yeah, all you have to do is that'll be a lot of fun. Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Geeky Gentlemen. This is another mini-sode on Doctor Who. Joining me today is Zazubaar, and I am of course Sydpart2.
Who the fuck is Zazubaar? My name is Bill.
Well you see, there's this stuff called, YouTube aliases.
Oh, I see, okay. Sorry, this is really awkward. I couldn't think of something to say because I didn't want to say hi again. So I was like, I'm going to say something that's really going to fuck with our viewers. I'm going to say that I don't know who I am. So.
Well, it, messed me up for a second there because I felt like I was doing a video with someone else suddenly.
And then you're like, well, Zazubaar, he's this guy who reads a lot of monster movies. His videos are really low quality, but, we still love him anyway, and he's the sexiest man alive, so. Yeah, guys, I'm Zazubaar.
Everything you just said was a lie.
So you think my videos are high quality? Thank you.
Yep.
That's probably because you.
I will take that if I don't have to say that you're the sexiest man alive.
No, but seriously, hi guys, I'm Zazubaar.
Yep. What a way to start the video.
I know.
Anyway, this is another installment of a mini-series Bill and I are doing on Geeky Gentlemen here, called the Doctor Who Reactions. Well, it's not called that. That's what they are.
Description. That kind of sounds like a title, even though it's not the title.
Yeah, it's just called Sydpart2 and Zazubaar React 2. And today we are reacting to the 11th hour!
It's 9:30 at night here. What are you talking about?
Well, we're reacting to the episode The 11th Hour.
Right! Because I watched it.
Is this gonna be a goofy-ass episode?
No,
where
I'm sorry. I'm
perfectly fine with that. I'm just wondering.
No, I'm just trying to throw shit out there. Anyway, so yes, we are reacting to the 11th hour. Isn't it the first episode to feature Matt Smith as the Doctor?
Yep, very, very correct. Really, it was the beginning of a whole new era for the new show because, they, Russell T Davies, who was the showrunner from 2005 until 2009, left the show along with David Tennant. Stephen Moffat took over the show just on the whole, and they got a new doctor, a new TARDIS, and a new assistant all in one episode.
Yeah, and let me just say, this is not a criticism, this is just an observation. I didn't know for sure that it was Matt Smith's first episode. I remember you mentioning something about it, but I didn't know if that's what we were watching. But the episode makes that perfectly clear, because it really feels like it's this newer, or at least, it feels like a new beginning for the show.
Yeah,
just the way it's
there
presented.
There are a couple lines that obviously, represent or show that when he's like, "Who is that?" That's you. Oh well, I have.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Here.
Well, let me just say this though. I was very confused with the beginning of this episode. I had no idea why he was acting so weird. Like how he would say he wanted some food, and then he would say he hated it. Now I understood, like, okay, the Doctor does this thing where he'll die and then regenerate as this new person, and he'll change a little bit. So is that what's going on? But I was like, wait a minute, Matt Smith is currently the Doctor, so what? I was really confused. But
this was his first episode, and I should have prefaced that a little bit better. I thought it was fairly apparent, but it makes sense that he wouldn't quite catch on. That being said, there were a lot of lines that I just really enjoyed, like when he spits the apple out and she goes, "I thought you liked apples," and it's a new mouth. It's like just after you brush your teeth, except much worse.
Yeah.
There's a lot of clever lines like that in this episode, which I really do enjoy. So, how long into it did it take you to figure out that he was, the new Doctor?
Well, you mean how long it took me to realize that, what the stuff at the beginning was meaning? I picked it up pretty quickly, especially once they start to make it more apparent that this is a new era for Doctor Who. And just like there's some stuff later on that suggests that like this is and that he's just coming out of this big huge event. I mean, he's wearing tattered clothes. He looks a little.
Well, yeah, actually, it's David Tennant's costume, and it's been all like ripped up and shit.
Yeah, that's a cool touch. I wish I would have caught that if I would have seen that last episode. But yeah, it didn't take me long. It wasn't even necessarily a problem. It was just like, I'm a bit puzzled.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit bad on my end.
No, don't worry about it.
The thing is, what Super DM64 said we should totally watch the End of Time, and don't get me wrong, I do love those episodes, or that it's a 2-part special kind of thing. There's no way we're watching that until you've seen at least like the first 3 series.
Is that the one with Timothy Dalton in it?
Yeah, there's so much to that, and it's what runs into this. At the very end of that episode, it's David Tennant's last thing, right? At the very end, he dies, and it's the very first time we see Matt Smith. And actually, what happened is why the TARDIS is all completely fucked at the beginning, on fire.
That's a great way of putting it, Ian. You know why the TARDIS is fucked?
Right? No, but because you notice in the beginning the TARDIS is the fire shit. Tennant regenerated inside the TARDIS. It was just so powerful that it started breaking shit.
Oh, okay. Now, let me ask you a production question for quick, and I don't know if you know the answers to this or not. Do they know who's going to replace the actor before the previous actor steps down? Actually,
in the End of Time, and in I forget the name of the episode. In the episode where in Eccleston's last episode, right? You see him regenerate into Tennant, and in the End of Time, you see him regenerate into Smith.
That is so fucking cool.
Isn't it, though?
Because you never see TV shows or movies where they change actors where it's that smooth. Like, just to give an example to something I'm familiar with, James Bond, who's going to replace James Bond, so it's not like they ever,
with the exception of from 8 to 9, they've shown it every single time.
I see. Okay, that's cool.
And that's just because 8 was in it. Let's see here. 8 was a made-for-TV movie, and he was the Doctor for about less than an hour. And then the next time we see the Doctor, it's Eccleston.
Interesting.
So, I mean, the 8 says he'd come back, but I mean, he's okay. We might. I don't know. I don't know if the movie's really the right thing to show you, because it's not like the best thing ever. It's not terrible. But anyway, back to the 11th hour. So here we get, and this is probably why I like MoFat. I love when people play with time travel. I'm a time travel buff, right? And it's a really interesting way to play around with it in this, where in the very beginning, there's this little girl, 7, 8 years old, something like that. And he goes, "I'll be back in 5 minutes," jumps in the time machine, comes back, it's 12 years later.
I like that a lot, too.
Yeah, I love when people play with time
And
travel.
then the ending is the perfect finale of that.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
He just keeps fucking up when he's coming back. It's hilarious.
It's hilarious. It's also a little tragic, though. Isn't
it's because
of it, but it's still fun. It's still kind of like, aw.
Well, I like the way that how Matt Smith plays it. Sorry, I'm very tired. My tongue is not quite catching up with my brain yet. I love the way Matt Smith plays it. Is like he recognizes that he hasn't intentionally made this mistake, but he's made a mistake. He fucked up, and I like how he plays it. Like he doesn't seem to care. He's just like, "So you coming with me?" Even though it's like 2 years later, she's getting married the next day. But fuck, you coming with me? And then she does. I love that. It's so, it's one of those things where like the Doctor he looks like a guy. He looks like a normal guy, but he seems to frequently like to remind people that he's not human. And I think that behavior is a really subtle way of doing that.
I'd agree with you too. I just like the way he they've described the Time Lord physiology before, and it's something to the effect of, everything on the outside looks completely human. Once you go inside, though, things are very strange. Which is a cool idea. I like Smith's approach to the role. It's very humorous. And I did a video with Chris that is going to be posted before this one on we're gonna call it, or we called it 11 or 12 13 question mark. Because the thing is, it's said that the Doctor can only regenerate 13 times. And Smith is the 11th. And what I like about Smith is he's got just so much energy in the role. And you can clearly see that in this. You know, he is all over the place in it, right? Just running around, talking 17 miles a minute, you know?
Yep.
It's really fun to watch him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, having seen what I have of the series, my personal favorite right now is still Tennant. And we're going to do The Girl in the Fireplace after this one, which is one of Tennant's best just one-shot episodes.
That sounds frightening.
Wait, actually, no, it should. We're gonna do another Matt Smith episode, but after that, we're gonna do Tennant's The Girl in the Fireplace.
Okay.
And it does sound frightening, and that's what's kind of cool about it. Anyway.
I see.
So yeah, we're gonna. My personal opinion though is, don't get me wrong, if someone likes Matt Smith, that is perfectly fine. There's a lot there to like, but after what Tennant brought to the role, I think it's time for a radical change to the Doctor, and that's why I think that the next one should be a woman.
Oh.
I just think it'd be interesting.
I mean, anyway, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, that's actually going back to the end of time a little bit. That's a cool sentence.
Going back to the end of time.
For a little bit.
That's what they should call it, for a little bit. That's what they should call Back to the Future for.
Going back to the end of time. No, but anyways, in the end of time, when Tennant first regenerates into Smith, you know, like, it's a whole new body. What are you gonna do? You're gonna try to, like, figure out what you look like, or what your, you know, physical structure is, right?
Yeah.
It just makes sense,
Uh-huh.
right? So he's sitting there, he's trying to figure out, like, what he is, and he pulls down some of his hair, and it goes down to in front of his eyes, so he's like, I'm a girl?
Huh.
And then he checks it for an Adam's apple, and he goes, okay, no, I'm not.
They should so do that, though. That sounds like a good idea. But my problem with that would be, I've been having this lately with recasting characters and such. I don't like casting choices that are just based on gender or ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they find a woman who would be really awesome playing Doctor Who, go for it.
Yeah, just to bring up what I said in that video with Chris, there are a couple of cool-ass casting rumors. One is Helen Mirren.
Oh. Interesting.
You know who she is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she'd be great at it. And the other one, as far as that I really liked the idea of female-wise, was Emma Watson.
Huh.
I think she could do it. She, you know, you hear her talk about the magic world in the Harry Potter movies, and she rattles it off no problem. So she could definitely pull off sci-fi kind of lines like Smith and Tennant did. But anyway, back to the episode itself. Back to the episode itself, because Chris and I did an entire video on this.
Sure.
Anyway, like, I don't know, I really like the way they play with time travel in this, and I like how tragic it is. It's not like, oh, whoops, it's 5 minutes for me, it's 12 years for you. It's not like it's just some kind of funny, awkward line, but it's also this whole...
I mean, he basically ruined this girl's life in a way.
Yeah, because she had to go see therapists, and, like, everyone in her village thinks she's a crazy person.
Yep. Until
Smith shows back up.
Yeah, and the fact that he didn't take her at that point, she turned into a exotic dancer, I guess, or a...
no, she was a kissogram. There's a difference.
I don't know what that is.
Imagine it's like a step under a party stripper. You just kind of like show up, look sexy, and kiss somebody.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Damn it! If you're gonna hire me a hooker. I prefer a real hooker, not a...
Not a fake hooker. Why do I have to have a hooker with standards? I mean, what's the point in that? I want my hookers with no standards. Or at least so low that they're negligible.
I want my hookers dead inside. They've long since given up hope. Anyway.
No, my prostitutes! No.
Yeah. Anyway.
Off track.
The episode. I don't know.
Thing with the fake hooker in it.
What about it did you enjoy?
Well, Matt Smith was awesome, as you've well established, and that was probably the biggest thing for me. Watching the Stephen Moffat stuff that I've seen, 2 episodes of it, his style is obviously in there. I mean, it's this weird, seemingly everyday occurrence. It's a fucking crack in the wall, and he takes a seemingly everyday occurrence and turns it into this totally weird-ass, out-there concept. I mean, he takes a statue, turns it into this strange physics-bound assassin. He took a kid wearing a gas mask who says nothing but "Are you my mommy?" Turns it into this weird, biological nightmare. And then takes this crack in the wall, turns it into a gateway between, I presume, time and space. And then has this creature come through who controls people's... Who has, this weird thing where he... Now, Ian, clear me up on this. Does he, go into people's dreams and copy what he sees in there? Or...
Not exactly. He's able to establish psychic barriers and psychic links. He put a psychic barrier over the door in Amelia's house so that she would never notice that room was there. Right?
Huh.
You notice, okay, I'm trying to think of it. There's a tree in my front lawn. I drive past it every day, to the point where I don't even notice there's a tree there until something's wrong with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. The way they explain perception filters, because it's something they use from time to time, it's a really good, cheap, but effective sci-fi writing device.
And that's one of the coolest things about Doctor Who, is the way they do that.
Yeah, but the way they establish psychic barriers is, when you really like someone and they don't seem to even notice that you exist? That's kind of what the idea of a perception filter is.
Okay. Well, I understood that fine, but my question is, how does he... I'm confused on the way exactly how he copies people's images,
Well, he needed a dormant... The doctor explained it. He needs a dormant mind that is still alive. So he was taking coma patients and, replicating their bodies to create, a form for itself to walk around in. It was obviously having problems with, kind of the biology of it.
Yeah, that was one thing I really liked.
How did you react the first time that man started barking?
I was like, what the fuck? That's kind of, right? I mean, that's kind of the reaction I always have whenever I watch Doctor Who, but this one was a special case, because you've got a guy with a dog who randomly shows up in a house, and he starts barking, in sync with the dog. It's pretty weird, even for this show. So, I was just kind of like, they better explain that, and, as they usually do with Doctor Who, they do. My problem with this episode is it's not as clear or as clever, or it wasn't as initially I was smiling at how clever it was as it was with the previous 2 episodes we watched, in my opinion. I didn't have that same, oh my god, that is so cool. I was just kind of like, I'm confused. There's some blue worm running around, stealing people's dreams or something.
No, it was alright, imagine that what it's doing is invading someone's mind, psychically, and it's creating an image for itself to copy and walk around in, okay?
Right.
So, if the person's constantly thinking about walking a dog, like the man in the coma was, then they'll be walking a dog.
I see, okay.
Guy, or the worm thing, whatever we want to call it, Prisoner Zero, gets to walk a dog. And, the one lady was dreaming about holding her children's hands, and so the monster was holding the children's hands. And then the ultimate reveal of this Amelia Pond was thinking about being around with the Doctor.
Right.
So she was around with the Doctor. She imagined herself always as a little girl holding the Doctor's hand.
Which that's clever and all, and I do like that. I do like that idea, but I don't think it's clear enough in the episode. And I don't know, maybe I'm just too stupid to pick up on it, but I don't know. I don't think it's clear enough in the episode. I didn't find it as shell-shockingly clever as I did with the other 2 MoFat episodes we watched, or 3, I guess. I don't know. I just didn't find it as just, oh my god, wow, that's awesome, as I did for the previous two things we watched. So,
yeah, and I'd agree with you there. It's not as clever as, you know, a statue that moves when you're not looking at it, or
right. It nearly is, because it takes a similar tack. It's, you know, you don't look in the corner of your eye, or you just ignore certain parts of your house because you're just used to it. Like, you know, I could probably navigate my entire house with my eyes closed.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, like, dude, I when I wake up in the morning, I don't even turn on any lights. You know?
Yeah.
Like, there's a little bit of light coming through from just, you know, sun starting to rise, but most of the blinds are still closed, stuff like that. And, you know, when I shower, there's no windows in the bathroom, I'll close the door and I'm able to do everything, you know, it's basically pitch black in there. Little tiny bit of light from underneath the door, that's it. So, really, the idea that you can just walk around without really thinking about anything is there. And that's what was so creepy about it, when he was like, count the doors. And she goes, why? Because it'll change your life. That would freak me the hell out if there was, like, a door in my house that I never realized.
Yeah, no, me too. But again, it wasn't as, like, initially watching it wasn't as shell-shockingly clever. But yeah, that is a really cool idea, and very Moffat-y.
Well, like, I don't think the reveal of the perception filter was the problem. I think I would agree with you that it's the reveal of how this creature is working.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is they were setting up these other things that are carried throughout the next 2-3 seasons. Because as the monster, like right before the space police arrest this monster.
Oh, is that what they are? That too I thought was not well explained. What the hell those giant eyeball things were? Like, I got for another race, I just didn't know what the hell they were.
No, they are the guards. That's why they're, like, remember when he opened the crack and he's like...
But what I thought was, like, it was this other alien race that just had a prison and that this thing broke their specific laws.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh, okay. Well, you just said they're like, are they like Green Lanterns? I mean, did they go around arrest?
No, I just said police because it was the first word that popped.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I got you. All right. Okay.
Yeah, they're space.
I still don't think
sounds better than space prison wardens. Sorry.
I mean, it's a cool idea. I just didn't think it was
Yeah, like what I was saying though. You know, Prisoner Zero does have that really odd line right before he gets arrested.
What
was it? The Pandorica will open, silence will fall, and the question will be asked.
Yeah, I had no idea what the fuck that meant.
Neither did I until, like, here's the thing, I didn't even remember it until I just rewatched it for this. But now that I've seen all of Matt Smith's stuff, the whole first season leads to the Pandorica being open. The whole second season of Matt Smith's stuff leads to the silence falling. And the whole third season leads up until what the fourth season is going to be about, the question being asked.
Interesting.
So, in the first episode of Matt Smith's stuff, we start the basic premise of, you know...
Matt Smith's run.
Matt Smith, yeah, 3 seasons of Matt Smith's run. So they plotted it all out beforehand,
That's
which is
crazy.
really cool. Well, they plotted it out at least the very basics.
God damn the Brits, they're too good at writing. Man, I watched Sherlock, the first season of Sherlock this weekend too, and that's fucking brilliant. God damn it, they're kicking...
Didn't I tell you?
They're kicking our asses on TV, man. I mean, we got them in film, I guess, but you know, they're kicking our asses on TV.
Oh, didn't I tell you, you watched the first episode of Sherlock? I will be shocked if you don't want to watch the second right away.
Yeah, and Ian, here's the thing. I know we're off topic, but our listeners will find this interesting. You know, it was a Saturday night. No, was it Saturday? Saturday night, and some plans I had fell apart, and I was in kind of a pissy mood. But I was feeling a little like I want to do something new. I was just gonna pop a Bond movie on, but I was like, I don't really want to watch a Bond movie. So I was like, let's see what's on Netflix. And I saw Sherlock in my recommended thing because I've been watching Doctor Who for this show. And I guess they kind of connected that. And I was like, I'm probably going to watch the first 10 minutes of it and then get bored. Because I don't like Sherlock Holmes, and I know I'm not really a huge fan of British television, so I know I'm not going to be into this. I watched the first 10 minutes, and I was just like, I got to watch the whole season.
Yep.
Because, dude, that acting and that writing, I have never seen anything like it.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we should. I think we're gonna do a Sherlock miniseries too, Bill.
Oh, that'd be fine. I've already seen the.
Or wait, maybe. We'll put that one on the back burner.
It's so short. We could probably just do an entire Geeky Gentleman on the whole goddamn series, because.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Well, we'll put that on the back burner because I think Rockman's. I know Rockman's a big Sherlock fan. And he might want to do that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
If he ever comes up. So that
Not
might.
that we're hoping you get voted off or anything, Rockman.
I'm rooting for someone else. I'll say that.
That's terrible, Ian.
Well, no, I'm rooting for someone else to win. What can I say? I wish Rockman the best luck. No lie, but if I have a favorite, I have a favorite. What can I say?
I do.
I can't hope for someone to win.
No, you're not allowed, Ian, because we're biased. Because
anyway.
With us, we kind of want certain people to get voted. This is going to sound terrible, but we kind of want certain people to get voted off so they can come on our show.
No lie, dude. I was so surprised when Maxwell got voted off, but I was like, yes!
We're horrible.
Sorry. That was a terrible joke.
This was a Doctor Who video that turned into a review of Sherlock that's now a video about who refused the reviewers.
Okay, well, let's get back to Doctor Who. Yeah, I'd agree with you that the reveal of the, psychic monster thing is not as strong. It's still a really cool episode, though. You gotta admit.
Oh, no, I'm not saying the episode's bad. I'm just saying that it's not as good as the other two.
Let me put it this way. I think it's a much more character-heavy episode than it is a plot-heavy episode.
Yeah, and that's fine. I think it's a lot better at setting up the new Doctor, giving us a new companion, which she's awesome.
Really, why do you like Amy? Why do you like Amy then?
I don't know. I like her a lot just because she has a personality that the other two. Again, I didn't see much of the one that Tennant had, but she has a personality that Rose didn't have, and that what I saw of the other one that she didn't have. It's just this very distinguished. She has a lot. Okay, she's got a lot more tragic backstory as far as I can tell than the other two. So
she's the Batman of the assistant.
She is the Batman of the companions. Yes, I would say that.
No, it's the Doctor and the assistant. Get it? As surgery.
Yeah, but don't you call them the companion?
Sometimes. Sarah Jane called it the Doctor and the assistant, and I like that.
Okay.
You don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is, no.
Sarah Jane was a companion.
Okay, I see.
Anyway. No, I like Amy. Thing is, you know who I don't like in this episode?
Her boyfriend.
Yep. You know what?
Why?
He's boring.
Oh, I agree. He's not in much of the rest of the series, is he?
Yes.
Fuck!
He's in... There's about, I think, 2 to 3 more episodes where it's just the Doctor and Amy, and then Rory's back. To be fair, I mean, he's an okay character, and they do more stuff with him later on, but it's kind of like,
he is
this guy.
He's like eating sawdust. Is the way I can describe him. Watching him on screen. Ian, he is like the most uninteresting character I have ever encountered. It's just like, he shows up, he's like this geeky nurse, or not geeky, nerdy nurse, because that's an insult to us. He's this like nerdy, like geeky shut-in, or not geeky shut-in, just a shut-in. And he's got a hot girlfriend, and I don't get it. Was she so desperate for a man because everyone thought she was crazy that she went to this like plain-ass nurse who creepily takes video of people with his cell phone?
Well, no, I mean, to be fair, he's got a really good reason to take video of people with his cell phone.
Well, fair enough, but it's like, I'm just making a joke, but...
Well, no, I mean, that's the thing, is this isn't the best episode for him. Let me just put it this way, he grows on you.
Oh.
Like, if you, he starts to grow on you because he's a really good person, if nothing else.
Well,
is the thing. You watch him. Rory always makes the right decision, which is nice. There's one episode where that's not true, but by and large, Rory always does, you know, the morally right thing, which I like, because there aren't always the ideal choices here, but he's kind of naive in that respect, and he always tries to make sure that the best thing's always done. So, you know, there's that. I will agree with you. When I found out Rory was in just about every episode that Amy was in, I was kind of disappointed too. Because I like her. I liked her because she took, you know, she was a proactive character.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Rose, is you can clearly tell that she likes the Doctor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she never does anything until it's far too late. Martha was a proactive character because she really liked the Doctor. She hung out with him for one series and then said, listen, you obviously aren't interested in me, and I'm not going to sit here and just pine after you all the time. So, you know, we can still stay friends. I'll call you sometime when I need help or something like that. But otherwise, yeah, I'm gone. Here's your key back. Kind of thing. It's a hard choice because, you know, you're giving up traveling around space and time, but...
Yeah, I would never give that up no matter what the reasons are.
Yeah, it's still a respectable thing that, you know, it's a proactive enough character. Donna was another assistant Tennant had that was funnier than shit, but she was alright. But I liked Amy just because she was very proactive, and she stays that way for at least the majority of the series. There's times where there's just nothing that she can do, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, I liked Amy. Rory's kind of hit and miss for me at best. I would say that, yeah, this isn't the best plotted episode, but it's still a really cool, really fun episode.
Yeah,
I'll agree.
It's
a great way to jump into the series and, you know, start it anew. Now let me ask you this. When you saw that the TARDIS rebuilt itself, what'd you think?
I was like, what? Well, I had the same reaction I have with everything in Doctor Who. I said, what the fuck, until they explained it. Well, they don't really even explain it, do they? I mean, they just kind of show it. It looks a little different. And then there are...
A little? It's a completely different design.
Dude, I've only watched 3 episodes of this show.
Well, wait. Shit, yeah, because you only seen inside the TARDIS in, like, little bits and pieces.
Very little.
Okay, so, well, yeah, that's true.
I mean, it looked a little different, but it wasn't like... like, oh, wow, this is... Fuck, what the hell's going on?
No, it's a completely different design, and I thought it was really clever how it's, you know, the TARDIS was obviously, you know, destroyed in the crash.
Yeah.
And you just see, like, he tries to get into it in the middle of the episode again, and it's, like, smoking.
Yeah.
And it's locked him out.
Yep.
And it's like, damn it, not now.
Does it always change when he changes?
No. When Tennant first came on, it didn't change. It stayed relatively the same all throughout the original series. It wasn't until the 7th to the 8th Doctor, I think, that it really changed from what I can tell. I thought it was a really cool way to introduce it, and it's important because of the episode we're gonna watch next. Here's the only background you should need for the next episode we watch, alright? TARDISes aren't built. They're grown.
Oh, so it's like Iron Man.
No, it's grown. They plant them. It's interesting.
So they're like Cabbage Patch Kids then.
Yeah, right. That's the perfect metaphor. So you're supposed to go like, what? And then I would have been like, and we'll be back with the Doctor's wife. No, you're all like, I'm gonna make a stupid joke now and ruin his awesome lead off.
I do that with everything you do. I'm just like, I'm gonna make a stupid joke that'll totally ruin this. No, but no, right. Hold on. What?
And we'll be back with the Doctor's wife. So until next time, we are Geeky Gentlemen. We'll be discussing